Insofar as the other world is concerned, God should be in charge. But insofar as this world is concerned, we are in charge. The attack is to the effect that Allah can be Akbar in your private life, no problem. But insofar as public life is concerned, Allah is not Al-Akbar. The godless civilization now takes control of the world. How does it affect this change, which is called secularization? It does it with a theory of knowledge, with a scientific method. It asserts that knowledge comes through observation, and that's quite correct. But it goes on to assert that knowledge comes only through observation, and that is not correct. If knowledge comes only through observation, then this is the only world which we can observe. And we repeat this step by step. It doesn't come from me, it comes from my teacher. If knowledge comes only through observation, then this is the only world which we can observe, normal observation. If this is the only world which we can observe, then this is the only world we can ever know. This is the only world we can ever know. If this is the only world we can ever know, then for all practical purposes, this is the only world which exists. Have you followed me? If this is the only world which exists, and welcome to materialism, there is no reality beyond material reality. Tomorrow night we will see the devastation which that has wrought on woman. There is no reality beyond material reality. When you apply that to woman and to gender, welcome to that nasty world called lust. L-U-S-T, lust. This is the only world which exists. There is no world beyond this world. There is no reality beyond material reality. That exists. That leads to godlessness. When they applied what they dignify with the term secularism, when they apply this now to the affairs of the public life, a new model of a state emerges. It is no longer a state or a public order which recognizes God as sovereign, which Europe did. And Europe declared that God was represented by the church, the Pope, etc. No longer is it a model of a state in which sovereignty is recognized to reside above. The new model of a state, which is called a secular state, now recognizes that sovereignty resides down here, not up there. The people are sovereign. Reminds us of Fir'aun. Ana rabbukumul a'la. Look at where we are. Look at the system. He didn't even recognize it in his case. The people are now sovereign. The people now establish the state, and the people locate sovereignty in the state. The state is now sovereign. It is the state in effect that you now worship. You live for the state and you die for the state. You worship the state. It was now given another name, secularism. We now have also nationalism. The people created the state and conferred sovereignty on the state. The state itself locates sovereignty in its institutions, the Constitution, Parliament, the Supreme Court, government. The state ensures that sovereignty is recognized and reiterated and reaffirmed time and again, because you must pledge allegiance to the state, to the Constitution. You must stand and sing the national anthem. And of course we did it, because Muhammad ﷺ said we would do it. He said that we would follow them, the Jews and the Christians. We would follow them to such an extent that even if they were to go down into a lizard's hole, we'll go down into the lizard's hole. And so they stood up, and we stood up, sing the national anthem. And the flag must now be saluted. These are not innocent symbols. No. The flag, the national anthem, the Pledge of Allegiance, these are all symbols which represent the sovereignty of the state. When you embrace these symbols, you are in effect saying, Allah, you are no longer Al-Akbar. The state is now Al-Akbar. That is it. All human beings must now become citizens of the sovereign state. And the essence of citizenship is the recognition of and submission to the sovereignty of the state. And so an all-embracing shirk now envelops Europe. Something else happened. The European mind, with that restless energy, now gives to the world a scientific and industrial revolution, and we don't have time to describe it. Where previously Europe did not have the power in successive crusades to defeat us, now Europe gets that power and uses that power dramatically and diabolically, with missionaries, with merchants, and then eventually with armed forces. They conquer the world. They colonize the world. They want to rebuild the world now after the model of the white man. This is the white man's burden. He has to civilize the rest of mankind, the natives. In the language of international relations and politics, we call it jingoism. Europe has unprecedented power. It uses that power. It controls the world. What about the world of Islam? It targeted the world of Islam with diabolical brilliance. It targeted the institution of the Khilafah and destroyed it. And then after the Khilafah was destroyed, it proceeded with equally diabolical brilliance to reorganize the entire ummah of Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam after the model of that